Hello, US 101 Late Start class. I want to welcome you to the beginning of the first week. I'm opening up the class a little early for you to give you some preparation. You're going to see that I have two things, this video and then what I'm writing, to explain the expectations of the essays and the video notes. So there's just a few things I just want to add into this that I want you all to be aware of. This is a late start class, and so late start classes can be a little bit jarring, and then again they come kind of out of the blue, and then we hit the ground running. This first week we're going to just have a regular amount of information to get everybody adjusted to the routine. Starting week 2, we're doing basically 2 weeks in one for each week because it's basically a cram course, like a summer class, okay? So I hope you're all aware of that. I have to teach the same amount of information in a shorter amount of time with the same amount of assignments. So normally we're going to have a bunch of work due. There's going to be a part 1 and part 2 to each week. The first batch of work will be due on Thursday nights, and then the second batch will be due on Sunday. I'll go over this again on some other announcements. By the way, I'm sorry, also this video is a little wonky. My other video, it's been working sometimes and not. It's better, so I apologize for the kind of mediocre recording that you're getting. But okay, so let's just talk about expectations, right? So the video notes, you have to write notes on all the videos. And why you have to do that is that you're not going to watch them unless you prove that you watch them. Not because, well, we're all just very busy and it's difficult to stay focused. So the video notes are about holding you accountable to show me that you're watching the videos. I had a student who used AI to try to answer all of them, and I already knew what that was because I already know what's in the videos. So if I have a topic that deals with something and you simply want to put an AI question in there and you see my topic and then you put it in there, you might have the right information, but I know that you're not watching the videos. So, the video notes need to reflect that you watched the video, okay? And I posted an example of some of the things I'm looking for. It doesn't need to be too complicated. When I say 2 points made, or sometimes more, it might be simply, you're stating, the first president of the United States was George Washington, and he seemed to be ideologically aligned with the Federalists, something like that. It's 2 points made. Okay, let's just say that you saw it in a video like that. All right, so that's how the notes work. And keep in mind, look, if there's a longer video I have you watch, like a documentary, it might say 4 notes. It'll say that on the top. The discussions, you will see what the discussion is, and then you will answer what it says, and you will then reply to other students, and you get full points. And I will also participate in these discussions from time to time. So those are very straightforward. The ones that you might have a little bit more of a challenge with are the weekly essays, like a page. It's a 1 to 2 page essay for each section. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to be a great writer. What you do have to do is only use information that we're covering in class. Anything from the module, that it's, unless sometimes it might say specifically you need to address Howard Zen book, that book particularly. But ultimately, it's any of the sources that we've used in class. And so, and then they have to be cited in brackets. And I give examples of what that would look like. Think about it this way. Every time you write a paragraph, within that paragraph, you should be writing as much of it in your own words as possible. And then where did you get that information from? So I want you to know how I look at a paper. The first thing I do is look for citations. I look for citations, and then I see, if it's the book, I want a page number after the author or the title of the book. You can put just the article if it's an internet article. And that would go after the paraphrase or direct quote from the information that you pulled out was from that source. So immediately I look and I go, oh, okay, I see where this information came from, and it's from the sources that we use in class, and I can look and see that I know that that's where that came from. And then I look for dates. Dates as in, tell us, what the time frame is. Does George Washington live in 1947 or 1747? Just something there to ground the essay in time. Remember, a history essay without dates is not a history essay, right? So I'm looking for that. So your sources have to be only those that are in the modules. If you use outside sources, you get a 0. If you don't cite the sources, you get a 0. And if you don't put dates in the essay to indicate where it's at, you get a 0. Now, these are things that I don't compromise on because those are very important. But I don't grade very hard outside of that. And the Turnitin aspect, too, I need to mention, should not show up more than 20% at most are direct quotes. Okay, the majority of the essay needs to be in your own words. Okay, I'm more than happy to go over anything to help you all with those essays. Again, I don't grade hard, but I'm looking. Remember, so I get an essay. I look to make sure that all those technical things are there, and then I read the essay. And as long as you're using the sources and putting it together the best you can, you will get full points. And I will leave you some comments to let you know how you're doing on that. So that's how that'll work. This is the routine. And, you're going to see, I don't use the course calendar for a reason. It's to your advantage, okay? Which not everybody understands right away, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But after this week, it's going to be very simple, and I'll give you another announcement the next week to remind everybody. Basically, work is going to be due Thursdays and Sundays, okay? So take a look at the weekly work objectives, and that'll tell you when the work is done. Every week, you'll see this week as you're looking, and you can also see on the assignment, it tells you which day it's due. That's how that works. The Howard Zen book is what we're mainly working with for discussions. So later on, I'll go into more in depth about some of the content of the class and all of that. I just thought right away, I'll just leave it at this to just kind of help you get an idea of, what your workload expectations should be. So keep in mind, normally during your weeks, you're going to have discussions, video notes, and an essay for part 1, due Thursdays. Then that same routine, discussion, video notes, essay, due Sunday. At times, I will take away an essay, and you don't have to do one or both. I'll never add more work than you would expect. If anything, I'll take out some work for you, especially when I see you guys are all on top of your work and you're doing your best, and I can maybe pull back a little bit for you on some of the work there. So I think that's mainly what I want to mention for now. I want to let you know that I'm very accessible. I will do my best to work with all of you and help you out the best you can. So don't get overwhelmed, and just communicate with me, and I will do my best to get you to thrive in this class.